Alrighty then.
What's up, Mike?
Yo, what's up, brother? How are you?
Pretty good. This looks different now. I still
What?
gotta figure this out. The screen,
Why?
because I guess you sending me that co-host spot, that
Oh,
link.
you're a co-host now, officially.
Yeah, officially
So it looks different now?
on my screen. I don't know if it's because I went under the Chrome or what, but
Okay, cool. Well, since you're a co-host now, I
I,
just got back into the office like 2 minutes ago after receiving your message, and
yeah, I still gotta figure it out. Otherwise, I would have just started it. You
right.
could have
Hey,
joined when
Jim.
you.
Yo, go ahead, Chris. Hey,
Yeah, I
Jamie.
figured you were just running late, so I would have started it, but I gotta mess around with it and figure it out.
Good. Mess around with it. Figure it out. You. I'm sure you got this. Hey, Jamie, how are you? All right. I guess Jamie's having some connection issues. Uh, okay. So we have I guess we have a special show this evening. We are going to be talking about an issue that my co-host Chris went through with a particular, excuse me, freight broker. Um, hey, Jamie, how are you?
What's up, y'all?
Cool, cool. And Chris, I guess I'm going to give the floor to you and let you explain the situation. I'm going to step away for just a second because I have to deal with some issues, but I am going to give the floor to you, sir. So knock yourself out. We are streaming live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and X, formerly known as Twitter, I believe. So we're streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. The floor is yours, Chris. Go ahead.
All right. Don't forget, I invited Ignacio also.
Well, you are a co-host now, so you should be able to see
Yeah,
who's
I just
waiting in the back, and you
right.
could let them in when they come in, right?
Yeah, I just don't know how to do it though.
Just click on it.
But click on what guest or the more
Well, when
or
someone
just
okay,
okay.
so you see all the little squares on the bottom of our big screen here.
Yeah,
So you see me,
the
you see
comments.
you, and you. No, that's on the other side. You see me, you
Oh
see you, and you see Jamie in the little squares at the bottom.
yeah,
Okay, so when someone shows up, their square is gonna pop up here,
right.
but it's not going to be highlighted. It'll just be gray.
Oh, so it show. Okay,
So when they pop in, you just click on it, and then they'll come into the studio.
oh okay.
All right.
I didn't know if it sent like a request or like kind of like Twitter with the mics. I didn't know if it
No,
worked like that or what.
no, you
But
sent him an
okay,
invite.
I got it. Yeah,
Did
I
you
sent
send?
him the. Yeah, I sent him the link.
Okay, so he'll just pop up. You'll see his box pop up, and when it pops
Uh,
up, just click on it, and he's in. All right.
all
I'll be
right.
right back. I'm just going to hit my vape real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Go
that's
ahead,
fine.
talk about it, brother.
So we did this load from Burley, Idaho, down to Phoenix, Arizona. Uh, BM2 Logistics actually had this load posted up on the load board. Uh, a lot of the contracts that come out of this place, I know this place very well. I picked up there several times. It's usually SOAR, Network. Yeah, it's usually SOAR, and Network that actually move those loads. And not only that, they do have other contracts with Giltner and May Trucking. And so I figured it was one of those that just got rejected by one of them. And so I took the load. BM2 Logistics did look legit. And they still do. And I'm not saying that they're not. But on the back end of it, when I got to the receiver asked me if I was with Giltner or May Trucking. They're the ones that hold the contracts for that lane. It's a McDonald's load that comes out of McCain's in Burley, Idaho. And I said, no, I'm my own carrier. She asked me, well, how'd you get the load? And I told her, well, I got it through a brokerage, BM2 Logistics. Well, who are they? I just told you. They're a brokerage. And I told the receiver, this is starting to sound like a double brokered load. I'm going to have to figure this out. So I got a hold of Jennifer. She looked into it. She tried to call McCain's. Couldn't get any information from McCain's. And let me jump forward a little bit. Well, we went back and forth for a while. I ended up passing up a door because the receiver did call while we were trying to figure this out. And they ended up putting me on the back burner. Ended up staying there a whole 20 hours and 10 minutes before I got unloaded. I asked for detention layover. They denied it, of course, trying to say that I was holding the load hostage.
Right.
Both the brokerage and the receiver said that I held the load, was holding the load hostage. And I told them, I'm not holding this load hostage. I'm actually protecting everybody that's involved in this load, because if it is double brokered, it's against the law, for one. For another, it's going to get everybody involved into the load, because there might be a chance that I don't get paid.
Right.
And so they didn't care about it. They didn't even know anything about double brokering or anything. They could, and that load was supposed to be a drop and hook as well. And they moved it to a live load. And so I did ask for the brokerage actually has it in their contract when you sign the carrier packet that we have the right to see it, 49 CFR 371.3. Now I actually talked to this broker. I had a long conversation with this account manager / broker, whatever you want to call them, and about this. And he said transparency is not going to do anything for the industry.
Well, that's not.
We kind of went back and forth. Yeah,
That's
I know.
that is not his. That is not the issue. Correct.
No, that's not the issue. I mean, we had a very long discussion, very calm, collective. It was a very good conversation, actually.
This
And
is the same
he
broker that you would you. This is the same broker that originally
from
was screaming at you. He was
yes,
a little
yeah,
belligerent in the beginning, right?
The one we called about that I was on the phone with you on.
yeah.
Okay.
He got belligerent with me when I emailed him update saying that I checked in, gave him the whole spiel, and told him and I attached Jennifer to the email as well. And he ends up calling me, just screaming at me, asking me who the Jennifer girl is, and I explained it to him. And he's like, what's her number?" And he keeps going on and on and on. I said, "I'll give you his number," and he keeps going on. And then he's like, "Where's that number at?" Like, just top of his lungs, screaming at me. "Where's her number at?" I'm like, "Dude, give me a minute. I'm going through my contacts. I'm finding the number." And I gave him the number, and he talked to Jennifer.
And he said, "What do I have to do to get this Chris Bennick out of my life? I don't ever want to talk to him again." Seriously, he said that.
Yeah, and he tried to tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a businessman. This is not how business works. Nothing like that.
And I told him, I said, "Sir, calm down." I said, "Please understand that with all the fraud going on, we encourage our members to do their due diligence and double check and make sure if something looks odd or sounds off that they're making sure that it is true and correct." I said, "It's not meant to, be anything against you. Just if something, looks amiss, they're supposed to do double check it. That's all. So we're not trying to be difficult to get along with."
Uh, Question. There's a question here from Matt Dahl. Hey, Matt. Who's the broker?
The broker is BM2 Logistics. That's the brokerage.
BM2 Logistics.
Yeah, they've been in
Correct.
business for, yes, like 15 years, a little bit over maybe.
They're the
Older
ones you looked at all the
brokerage.
reviews on, and you were like, "Chris, I don't see anything bad here. Like, just unload it."
Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
And uh, and superintendent after we talked to Mike, and um, she was pretty upset too, pretty belligerent
Carla, the
about it.
Carla lady. Are you talking
Just
about Carla?
yes,
Yeah, she was real rude.
yeah, and
So they copied her on, and they
uh,
said, "Hey," copied their attorney, and then she's like, what do we need for this?" I said, "Well, he just wants to make sure he's going to get paid. Is all. He's going to go to the window and let him know that they can take his truck back." Which was only about 20 minutes past 9. His appointment was at 9, so it wasn't that late. Just confirming this stuff, and he had actually checked in at 7 that morning. That's when they had asked him if he was with, who was it?
Giltner
Giltner
or
or
May Trucking,
Yeah, they
May
said that she
Trucking.
usually does these loads and they're drop trailers. And he was like, "No, it's supposed to be a live unload." He's like, "No, these are drop trailers." So that's another reason why he was checking, like, okay, what's going on here? And I said, "So now that we've got it confirmed, he's headed back to tell him to go ahead and take the truck." And the only truck they had gone was the truck after him. So basically, they would have flip flop appointment spots. But instead, they made him sit there till, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night before they unloaded him. They said he became a work-in.
Oh, right.
So then he asked for their transparency, the 371.3, and they said, "What documents do you want exactly?" He laid out in that request for the documents, the request we use, exactly what documents we needed, and she said, "I don't have those documents. I have the rate com. That's what I sent you. That's all we have." Oh,
Now,
Okay, well,
so they
that's
did.
failure. That is clear failure to comply with 49 CFR 371.3.
So
Right
then I
there.
emailed you and asked
But
you
it's
to provide you-
also a breach of contract.
Okay. Yep.
But I asked him. I was asking you today. Do I need to call that number, or do I give the number to the carrier to Chris to call?
I'm going to file the complaint.
Okay. I just didn't know what the next step was. I mean, we haven't made that far in the process yet.
So they did send over, I'm going to call it what it is, a fake tender load. Basically the contract between the broker and the customer, their customer.
the 4PL Armada
Yeah, the Armada Supply
Solutions or something.
Logistic, yeah, Solutions. And they are actually a brokerage as well. Armada is a brokerage.
Well, did
They
you
have
see
a
if it was a
MC number.
co-brokered load or what? I mean, was it a
No,
co-brokered load?
he said no. He said I said because I said, well, how did you get it from McCain? He says McCain is not our customer, and I said, well, McCain is who's on the BOL. So I'm just trying to see how it got to you, so that I can make sure that it's a legitimate load and it's not double brokered. And he said we get it from our 4PL, Armada Supply Solutions. They have been in business for 1,000,005 years. I don't remember how many years he told me, but he said they're the oldest 4PL in the country, and I can't believe someone in trucking as long as you've been that doesn't. I've never heard of them. I said, well, I haven't. I'm sorry.
Not only that, I know McCain's. So this was a McDonald's load. It was a load of hash browns. McCain's has had that contract with McDonald's for over 20 years. I've actually worked at McCain's for a few years back and did the packaging, all of it, the palletizing, getting it ready to get shipped, all of it. And they have a processing plant for the potatoes to process the hash browns or French fries.
All right,
But-
questions. I got some questions for
Yeah.
you, brother. If it was brokered to Armada and BM2 had it, it had to have been a co-brokered load. Was the co-brokered documents included in the documentation they sent
Nope.
you?
They didn't send any documentation.
Nope.
They done it. It don't matter.
So
Here's
the
what
tender-
it boils down to. Even if they sent you that, they still breach of contract because they
They
didn't
didn't
send
send
you
it.
all
So
the documentation.
The tender load that they sent me, it had Origin, McCain's, which isn't even accurate because it picks up at New Cold, which is McCain's cold storage. And then they had, the receiver on there. And then as shipper, they had HIV and the address. This is why I call it a fake load tender. They're playing games.
Chris.
They're
did,
playing. Yeah.
Chris did send me the email chain back and forth between him and this broker or whoever, and Jennifer, and the load tender was, it didn't have any numbers in it. Like it was just it was a piece of paper. Like it didn't have any information on it. So they obviously they're playing games. And
Yep.
in my opinion, this is a situation where you have a broker that does not take regulators or regulations seriously. And this is definitely a situation where you need to file a complaint with the FMCSA as quickly as possible and follow up as soon as you do, and make sure that they get the information that you're looking for. And don't make a big deal out of it until you get until you file a complaint and get the FMCSA to contact this broker and get the information that you're looking for, because this is going around and round in circles. And I have been included in the correspondence between Chris and Jennifer and this broker since before Chris dropped off the load. And it's just been kind of like a mess. I believe the broker is nasty. The reps at this BM2 Logistics, I believe they're very nasty. And they do not talk to people with any respect. Chris, I feel like Chris was just being cautious based on the environment that we're in. And I don't think they gave him any credit or respect for that. He felt that this load was suspicious, and the receiver made him feel even more so when he got there. And they blew it up. It was sort of like, shut up, you're nobody, just give us the load, and if it's a bad load, you'll get screwed, you know what I mean, and have to deal with it. That's pretty much the feeling I got ever since the beginning.
And Mike, just say the other thing that really set me off was the way they were trying to hurry up and get us off the like, just hurry up and get it delivered, and just get him out of my like hurry up so that you don't catch on to whatever we're doing. Like, they made that more suspicious with that kind of a cloud of hurry up and get out from under this and get away from us.
Right, and I didn't like that either, because based on the climate that we're in right now and the things that are going on, you know, you should have a little bit more common sense than that if you're a broker. And if you're a broker doing large volume, you should be a little bit more knowledgeable about these issues and understand why the driver was trying to protect not only himself, but the load. And this is something that is understandable to a certain extent, because most brokers are ignorant. They're just people from off the street that paid $300 for an authority. Most of them don't have any real business background. Few of them do. And believe me, I speak from 15 years of experience. I call these people all the time. And, you know, many years, so you can say whatever you want, but it's the truth. Just because you have a broker authority does not make you a highly educated individual. It makes you a person that at one point in his life had $300 and used it to get a fucking broker authority.
You know, and I tried to talk the guy down a little bit with just, hey, you know, this is what's going on in the industry right now, and where he's just being extra cautious. You know, they can't afford to take a loss right now with rates as low as they are, so they're trying to make sure they don't lose, you know, traction on any of their loads. It's not a personal thing. We're just trying to cover the bases. You know, I tried to talk real calm to the guy, and he was really worked up about it.
Like I was saying, you know, I understand Jennifer, but like I was saying, you know, this is a situation that was handled, and I said this before we had this show. I said this last week. This is a situation that was just handled badly from the beginning, and it wasn't anyone's fault. The broker is in control of the load from pretty much start to finish, and he should have had better sense and understood what Chris was attempting to do. And I told Chris that he was going to be accused of trying to hold the load hostage. So make a decision before you arrive at the receiver, because if you do not release this load, they're going to accuse you of holding the load hostage. And that's exactly what they did, because they could care less about him or this load. They just want the paperwork. So they could go on about their business. They really could care less. So
if they filed a freight guard?
I'm pretty sure they will. But right now, that's the situation with that. And Chris, did you file the complaint with the FMCSA yet?
No, I'm driving. I'm going to get it done tonight or tomorrow morning when I get up.
Matt is
All right,
asking
you
if
want me
they
to, can I give can I
Hold
can I
on
give
one
a
second.
prediction here, Mike?
Yep, 1 second. Chris, did they file a freight guard on you?
Not that I've seen, and I've been checking my spam.
Okay, go ahead, Jamie.
Okay. So what happened here? This is my hypothesis, an educated guess, and my prediction. So when all this is said and done, and they have to supply the documents, what you're going to find is that the load was brokered to Armada. Armada brokered the load. Was BM2 took the load from Armada after Armada took
Hmm.
their cut. Now BM2 took another cut and give it to Chris. That's what they're trying to hide by not supplying the documents. Now, when you get it and they have to supply the documents all the way back to the shipper, you're going to find that there was two cuts taken out of this load, which changes it from co-brokering to double brokering, the way I understand it.
And here's what I have to say to that. Chris got paid nice on this load. It wasn't a BS load. So if there was enough money in this load for two brokers to take a nice little chunk out of it, it raises some more questions, in my opinion. It wasn't a garbage load, from my understanding. It was a decent paying load. So if there was enough there for two brokers to eat off of it, and still Chris be willing to take it, because I know Chris doesn't do cheap freight. He's similar to many like yourself and others. He has a break point, and he will not go below that break point. It's very rare. He takes freight that is profitable for himself and his truck. So if there was enough in that load for two other brokers to, not just one, but two brokers to chip a piece off, yeah, they're not going to want to give you that paperwork very easily. I think you're going to be shocked. You're going to find out that load was probably paying a few grand, like more than what you got. And I think you told me you got like maybe $3,000 or something on that load. So
3,200.
yeah, and we know brokers are taking nice chunks out of these loads. So that was probably like a $6,000 load or something like that. And they don't
It
want
may
you to
even
know.
be more than that at this
Yeah,
current moment, Mike, because think
yeah.
about it. It's a holiday week.
And look who
They
the shipper
got to
was.
get the load moved.
And look who
So
the shipper.
and I'm pretty sure that that's what it come down to. It was a
Yeah,
holiday load that had to move. They co-brokered it, thinking it was going to be a co-brokered load, but actually
right.
turned it into a double brokered load, and they had good
Mm.
money on this load. What we're
And,
seeing right now is normally the holiday push that we see out here. It's not there. It's non-existent this year, just like produce season was this year and last year, just like Christmas and the holidays was last year. Same thing. They're holding the rates down, even though they're getting paid for it, because the shippers are used to paying more around the holidays. They're jacking the rates up and holding more out of the rates right now.
and the fact that the broker was angry and got belligerent with Chris from start to finish gives you the indication that he got paid nice and was expecting to get paid nice on this load. Listen, from my understanding, Chris, he was harassing you from the moment you picked that load up. As a matter of fact, I think I remember we were doing a show, and while we were doing a show, he was calling you to ask you if you were on your way to go pick the load up. He was just calling you and texting you every 5 minutes about this load, which is suspicious behavior, correct?
Yep.
Well, I think that the way it was laid out and the fact that it is in their contract, they will supply 49 CFR 371.3, not only puts them in breach of contract, but I think that will give him a civil suit against them for trying to hide the documents from the original shipper. That's gonna open a can of worms, brother. I think it's gonna be big.
Well, Matt
Well,
says, Matt, hold on,
okay.
Chris, you answer that. Matt says, easy, Mike. Brokers are so desperate right now. Could have also been a $3,500 load, and they co-brokered it to the other broker for 33. That's also a possibility. Hey,
But
that's cool.
why would they try to hide what's made available through the contract that Chris signed? That don't make sense.
Well, in their defense, they've probably never been asked to comply with 49 CFR 371.3. So they probably, shoot Chris off like a fly. You know what I mean?
Like I said, brother,
So,
that's just a prediction. That's just a hypothesis and a prediction. We're gonna find out.
right. No, I hear you.
We
I
are.
hear you. I mean, the only Chris is only.
Y'all have Texas Trucker at Large here on the record as that's my prediction, and let's see where it goes.
Well, that's brother. That's a Muhammad Ali prediction. You are predicting they go down in 3. I can't make a prediction because right now I don't know. It's up in the air as far as I'm more concerned with Chris getting paid. That's
I'd be more. My biggest concern right now would be the freight guard that they're going to put on him and put him out of business.
That's what he's got the
They ain't gonna put it
They already
for
hate me, so let's get John on that one.
I
But
think
anyway,
Jennifer, you wanted to say something?
I was just saying that he's got the genie in a bottle, but of course they already know me. Carla already despises me. We'll have to get John on this one.
Right.
But I mean, to just go back on the email chain a little bit, Chris had asked for those specific documents, and the lady said, what do you need? And he copied me, and I was like, ma'am, he did request specific documentation. See highlighted below, and she said, you stated on your call your client was only concerned about getting paid. Oh, whoa, time out. I mean, yes, he was concerned about getting paid, but now you're acting sketch. So I didn't say that, of course, but she said what I was asked for was included in this rate confirmation I sent previously. So, I mean, I'm curious to see what it comes back as. I really am, because this man went to all this trouble to explain to me how it got from McCain to Armada to them to Chris to I mean, he rattled through the whole gamut of who tenders what to where, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Just send the tender over so that Chris can show that it was a live unload to the window so that they can see where to unload it at. But then, of course, they put him on the back burner and said, well, since you weren't readily available at 9:00 on the dot, and you forfeited your spot, then now you're working, and we'll just get to you whenever. And they made sure they took all night to do it. That was from
20 hours and 10 minutes to be exact.
20
It
hours.
just seems that was just punishment for not for having the audacity to question anyone.
Audacity.
And that was just punishment to make you wait overnight with the load. But it just seems like a lot of redundancy and a lot of work to move one load. I can't believe that these good paying loads have so much trouble getting moved. I just don't understand that. Chris, maybe you can clue me in on that. Why did it take 2 almost like non-existent brokers to move a good load like this? I don't understand. I don't get it.
What
My
I don't get,
understanding is that the rates are good right now up in Idaho, up in that region.
they are. There's no trucks.
So it takes 2 brokers that no one's ever heard of to move a $3,300 load. I don't understand. Is it like I'm just trying to put it together? There are people out here starving for freight. Why does it take 2 brokers to move a $3,300 load like this?
It's supply and demand, Mike. Supply and demand. It's market rates, brother.
They explained that this was a load that was, I guess, originally tendered to a regular lane or whatever, and then a carrier fell off the load or rejected it or something, and then they had to go into the spot market to get covered.
I don't know. I guess it is what it
Giltner
is.
and May Trucking has those contracts for that lane. So obviously they tendered it back to Armada. Here's what I think. McCain's is using Armada to get the loads moved. They're a big brokerage. They're a shipper. Well, not a shipper, but a carrier, a brokerage, a warehouse, and yeah. There's like they deal with 4 different aspects of the transportation. I've looked them up.
I'm going to go ahead and do every shipper in the country a really big favor right now. I'm going to give every shipper in the country an early Christmas gift. If you would like to move your freight safely and securely around the country by reputable owner-operators and carriers, contact the National Owner-Operators Association. Merry Christmas. That's really all I can say. Go ahead, Jamie.
Here's what I've been wondering, Mike. I've been looking at this law, and other than the no solicitation, do not approach the shipper. I mean, to me, the law is written such as we could approach a shipper and request the same documents.
First of all, that's not a law. That's number one. Let's be clear. That's not a law. That is an internal rule that brokers have come up with that they put in their contracts.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking
law.
about that. I'm talking about the 49 CFR 371.3.
I don't understand.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Let me start over. So the brokers have in the contracts that we can't solicit the customer. In other words, we can't speak to the customer or ask the customer or try to get business from the customer within 6 months of the time that we use the broker to book a load with said customer. Okay, that's not a law. That's in a contract. That's what we signed, saying that we will not do that. But under 49 CFR, the way the law is written, I don't see in there where it says that we can't approach the shipper instead of the broker and ask for the same documents under 49 CFR 371.3.
There's no reason you can't, and that rule is unenforceable. That clause in that contract is unenforceable.
Well, maybe that's the way we need to start going about it. Instead of trying to hit these brokers, go to the shipper and say, I want the documents. I want 49 CFR 371.3.
You can't do that because the broker is the intermediary. The broker is the one with the authority. He's the one that's regulated. The shipper is not. The DOT and the FMCSA is not going to go to the shipper and ask for the document. And remember, that's not really what we're looking for. You know what I mean? We want to know what the broker. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
the way the law is
you're
written,
right.
it says
You're right on that.
It says any party in the transaction can request the documents. It don't say
any party in the transaction has the right to view the document.
But it don't say that we got to request them from the broker. Why couldn't we approach the shipper and ask for the same documents? Shoot around the broker.
You know what? You probably could. But here's the thing: the shipper can't be forced to give them to you. Only the broker can.
I don't know. Well, something I want to look into.
The only thing they would be able to show you is what they actually gave the broker, which is what we're
That's-
actually after.
That's what we're after.
Right, and the broker is the intermediary. That's the 49 CFR 371 rules are for brokers.
Yeah,
You understand? So, you know,
It's
the
just a
shipper.
thought, man. It's just a thought.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. The bottom line is, you know, the FMCSA needs to turn up the heat on enforcing the rule. And I understand why it's taken a little bit more time. I just hope that things get better in the near future as far as this the speed in which these things are being investigated. I know for a fact they are being investigated. It's just, you know, it's just the way the government moves. But like I said, in this particular case, you need to file a complaint as soon as possible, get the complaint number, and follow up. That's it.
yeah, I am. And then here's something else that we need to talk about is this whole co-brokering deal. So why is Armada, with them being a brokerage, why aren't they throwing it out on the low board?
I can't speak for any other company.
Chris,
Well,
did
I
it
know
say
that.
did it say
It's
not
just a
authorized?
rhetorical question.
Didn't it say not authorized?
That was, I'm guessing that was a different one because I went to the actual, that was off of Google and it was
Oh.
shown in Las Vegas.
All right.
I didn't see that Las Vegas address until after I sent it to you. And
Well, what's
has
the MC?
anyone
I'll
even
pull it-
seen?
I'll pull it on Safer real quick. What's the MC?
I don't remember the MC.
Bill says he's sick. He's got the bug. I guess he's got COVID. Feel better, Bill.
Let me see. Jennifer, what's that MC number?
Give me a second. I'm pulling up Safer right now. Give me just a second.
Because I sent you the other one too, the actual where it says authority brokerage. I sent you the second one that I found after that.
Oh, I didn't see the second one. Hang on. Let me look. Oh, Chris's
And I can't
Yeah,
look at my phone, but
Listen, I need to step away. We'll,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, give me the DOT or the MC.
I'm looking for it. Hang on. a second. Is it the one in Pittsburgh, Chris?
Yeah.
It's 557414.
557414. Hold on.
That's correct.
7414. Okay.
Yeah, they're a broker as well.
That's the DOT?
No, that's the MC number.
Okay,
Sorry.
let me change this. Okay.
Not only that, they have a brokerage and a carrier side.
They are authorized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
the
are.
first one he sent me was not. That's the one I was confused about. I'm sorry. He sent me a different Armada to begin with, but yeah.
They're out of
Yeah, I
Pittsburgh,
thought it was that one,
Pennsylvania.
but that was different. Yeah. The one out of Pittsburgh is there's
Well, that's a question.
that was the
answer. That's
actual
easy to know.
address that was on the yeah.
Okay.
But
Hey, Jennifer,
so
go ahead, Chris.
So, has anyone seen anywhere in the FMCSA regulations and guidelines on anything about co-brokering?
The only
no.
thing about co-brokering is in
Everybody's mind, but
no. It's there. It's called an interline, and it's in moving. moving.
Right. So originally, I used to tell y'all, oh, but
Household
co-brokering is
goods.
legal. I used to say co-brokering is legal as long as they've
Yeah,
got
it's in
the. Da, da,
household
da, da.
good.
Am I talking? I used to say that the co-brokering was legal because as long as there was a co-brokering agreement, all parties were aware. However, somebody once guided me through and said, "Where does it say in Title 49 that co-brokering is legal?" And I said, "Well, it's here somewhere." And I went through Title 49, I went through Carmack, I went through Map 21, I went through Uniform Bill of Lading Law, I went through everything. Nothing says that it is legal, but it is an accepted business practice so long as there is a written agreement in the
Who
that
says it's accepted?
it's widely
I've
used.
asked Mike this. I've
But it
asked
doesn't
Mike
say it's
this. I
it doesn't
wish
say it's
James was in
illegal
here
either.
too. Exactly. Exactly my point.
What?
I wish James was in here
So we
and
need clarification
John.
on the rule.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I've already asked Mike. I've already asked Mike on this. If anybody in DC from the FMCSA, DOT, Congress, Senate, anybody has ever heard of co-brokering,
They've heard of it. They sure have.
he said it's never came up.
Who said it hasn't?
They
Mike,
the way we understand it and what we have been through this and we have been down this road, me, Bill, and Mike, and others. And the way we understand it, that they took it from household goods
Right.
off the interline
yes,
agreement
I get that.
and
No,
use it over
I
here.
agree with
It
that.
doesn't say it's legal, but it doesn't say it's illegal in property. So to actually get a ruling on it, we would have to go to FMCSA and get them to do a ruling on it.
So basically, us carriers can actually do a co-carrier agreement as well.
As long as the first carrier hauls the majority of the miles.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
called
But
interline.
anytime we break down, what's the broker actually say? I'll get on
They
it. I'll get it repowered. What do you want to do?
and then you split the rate down by what you got. That's the way I've always done it. I've had to do it 3 or 4 times. And the way you
Every
do
time
it, you
I've
get
had
with
to
your
do it is they took over. I tried
no.
to,
That
yeah.
we broke every time I've done it, we've broken it down by the miles, and I got paid for the miles I covered, and then the other carrier got paid for the miles he covered. If they could get the other carrier to take it cheaper because of where the freight was at, then I would get the remainder and the carrier would get what they agreed to run it for. I've done this a bunch of times. Um, like I broke down in Denver, Colorado on a load coming out of, I want to say
So why can't we
Kansas.
find a carrier and just do a co-carrier agreement? That
Because the
way, no,
first truck has to do the majority of the miles.
I'm talking about when you break down
Yeah.
in the middle of a load.
I think that's what he's saying. He has done before.
Yeah, but everybody's got to be
Yeah.
aware. You can't
But
do
yet
it on the
the
sly.
broker
Everybody's
takes
got to be
over on it
aware.
though. That's my whole point. Is the broker takes over on that. The broker finds another carrier to repower the load, and they do their freaking thing. But anyways,
I don't know the answer to that question, Chris. I don't know because I haven't never been down that route. To my understanding
right.
is if one carrier gives a load to another carrier, that is double brokering and it's illegal.
No, it's illegal brokering because they don't have authority.
Yeah, illegal brokering. There you go. Let me ask you this, Jennifer. On the Decker Logistics, will you print? I tried to type that up. I transferred it over to my text messages,
I can
and
type it for you.
my text messages aren't long enough to allow me to do it.
I'll type it for
Uh,
you. Been meaning to do it anyways. I just haven't.
you got the rate con hun and you got all my company information. So yeah, if you will type that up for me because I am going to file it. They refuse to address my issue that I have with them. So we'll see what they got paid in the load. I got paid good money on it. I got what 3380, 3370, 3380 in it on 900 miles. But we'll see what they got in the load, huh? They want to play games. It is what it is.
Let the games begin. I feel I almost feel.
I'm
no,
thinking all this double brokering that Congress is saying is all of the co-brokering. That's how I feel. That's what I think.
What do you mean?
It's
What are the
definitely
Congress saying about
something
what?
that it's definitely something we need to address and get clarification on and get in front of them, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly
Chris, what
my
were you saying?
point.
What were you saying that the Congress is saying is the co-broker? I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, when they're coming out with these numbers about what do you call it? The on the industry about what was stolen out of transportation
Oh, okay, I got you. I
on
got you.
double brokering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
maybe what they're talking about is what brokers are calling co-brokering. It's a way for them to get around the double brokering
Maybe.
because nobody in Congress knows that there's co-broker agreements,
Well,
whatever,
well,
whatever
Chris,
you
I
want to call it.
believe what you're wrapped up in right here. When it comes out the way I suspect it will come out, and the load was double brokered, and the actual documents show that each broker took a cut out of the load, which they're not supposed to do. They're supposed to take
Yep.
the rate that the rate that they was originally going to do and split the profit between the brokers however they seem fit, but they couldn't take one broker. The first broker took
No,
a
I
cut, the
get
second broker
that.
took a cut. So I believe when this comes
No,
out, we're
yeah,
gonna have something to go at them with on it, brother.
But
I know.
I know when we first brought
That's
this to Mike.
exactly why I'm pushing this one.
I just want to say when we first brought this to Mike and Chris was raising hell in Phoenix, and I said Chris is making problems in Phoenix now, Mike. We gotta decide what we're gonna do here. And Mike said if you find that this is double brokered, I will be shocked because everything looks pretty solid here. Just unload the truck and get paid, Chris. Didn't he say that?
Yeah,
Okay, so I just am
and I get where Mike's coming from
right.
because even before I booked the load, I checked them out. I
Mhm.
did a Google review. I checked them out on Safer. Um, I called up. Well, yeah, I looked them up on my factoring. They were good.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I think I had to call my factoring, and they ended up saying that yeah, they're good. That they've got like 200,000 in credit
Well, yeah, this guy was
because
talking about they move 250 loads a week or I don't know something crazy like that. And
so no, he was actually telling me that one shipper that he has moves 10 loads a week. 10 loads a week. Last month he made 300,000 off of that one contract.
how do you know?
That's what he told me.
God
That's what he told me when we were talking about the transparency when I was booking the load.
bless.
Well, here's what I think. I think we need to. The whole industry needs to come together and make the request for the documents under 49 CFR 371.3 the norm instead of an anomaly. I believe that's what we got to do to get them used to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it also puts pressure on the FMCSA and DOT if they got to start dealing with this all the time to go ahead and make a ruling on it. So I think that's the way we need to head.
You know, if I could jump in here, let's put some of these comments up here. You know, before I do that, I want to say, you know, I'm listening to Chris's story here in the background, and you know, he's mentioning Google reviews and checked them out on Safer, and the factoring company said, yeah, it's a go. These guys are good. And at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, when is someone going to take responsibility for this double brokering issue? What else can you possibly do to protect yourself? And how is it our fault? You know what I mean? This is a this is a direct reflection of an industry that's regulated badly. Factoring companies need to be put into the equation here. And this is the reason why we say these things. And I get a lot of flack from people in our group, and, you know, I get the text messages and, you know, oh, we support you. Why are you saying these things? You know, I've heard it. I've been hearing it ever since, you know, we announced this issue with the insurance companies and factoring it. There's a reason why. Because when all the dust clears, we're the ones that take the loss. All of their asses are covered. We're the ones that take the loss. You see, what I heard that day was Chris tell me, I can't afford to take this loss. Do you mind if I speak freely, Chris?
No, I'll even speak more on it.
Go ahead.
So I sat at home for 2 months. Okay, I tried to look for a job in Idaho just so I could get money coming in half of November. Couldn't even get a job. So I actually had to take this load. I had no money. Trailer payment coming up, uh, my loan payment up, bills just coming up, stacking up, and no money in the account whatsoever. I actually took a risk on taking that load because if I would have broke down, I would have been done. Period. My credit cards are maxed out. Everything.
So when Chris called me in the middle of the night, telling me his concerns about this broker and this load, that's what I heard. And I think that Congress and the regulators need to take a real hard look at how this supply chain operates. And we've been screaming that for a year, and they are finally hearing us, and it is important. We are not just coming at brokers. Factoring companies are responsible here as well. Many organizations, many different aspects of this supply chain need to be looked at. The way business is done it does not work for this day and age. People are getting out to dry. We're not talking about a couple of $100s here. We're talking about thousands. I took a $7,000 hit on a double brokered load last year.
Mike, there's
That's not chump change. That's not pennies. When you have a small fleet, that's a lot of money. And when you think about all of the things I did, you know, because we count our money before it lands in our pocket. The factoring company can always go back and suck that money right out of your account. And that's exactly what they did. And someone has to be accountable for that.
I'm going to tell you what.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Factoring company is going to be responsible for putting one company out of business with this convoy debt. I just wanted to put this out there. When you said that, it made me go back to this. I just spoke to her tonight, the lady that has $160,000 worth of convoy debt. She wanted me to recover it for her. She asked what my fee would be. We agreed on a rate, and she told her factoring company, who is now taking it back from her at $1,000 a week. She said, I need a letter of release so that she can collect it. They said, no, we don't want to work with a collections agency. We don't want. She says, well, then I need to hire an attorney, and I need this money. They said, no, we don't want to do that. She says, well, if she recovers this money, I can't afford to just pay her 20, 30, 40, whatever percent. I mean, we've agreed on, and so she says, I can't afford to just pay this out of my pocket. So you have to pay it to her out of whatever gets paid us, because they have the notice of assignment on these. And they said, no, we won't do that. She says, well, I need this recovered. And frankly, her factoring company is not worried about her getting it recovered. All they care about is taking it back from her at $1,000 a week. They're not helping her recover it. They won't. But they're taking theirs back, and they don't care if she gets it recovered. And if she can't get any of this recovered, she is going to have to close her doors. So they have her by the left toe and won't let us collect on it because they won't allow 20%, 30%, 25% to be released to us as part of our fee once it's recovered. Now, if they gave a letter of release, we would take our fee first and forward them the remaining portion. And then they could still continue to take the $1,000 a week to make up whatever difference is left. But they won't give a letter of release. So they won't release it so that we can collect it, and they won't help her collect it.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, when we called for a nationwide shutdown, we did that for a reason. And, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I challenge everyone to contact their representatives in Congress and ask them one question. Ask them, do you know what a factoring company is? They'll come back and tell you, what is that? I don't know what a factoring company is. Ask them if they know how long it takes for you to get paid on a load if you don't use a factoring company. They'll come back and say, I don't know. How long does it take you to get paid on a load if you don't use a factoring? Ask them what a rate con is. They don't know. Ask anyone on the transportation committee any of these questions. They can't answer them for you. These are the things that I think people in this business don't know. The people that regulate you have no idea how this business operates.
Yeah, I seen that in Phoenix because when I was talking to the receiver, they didn't know anything that I was talking about.
I'm talking
They
about the
didn't know
people
what.
that write.
Yeah,
Hold on, brother. I'm talking about the people that write the rules. I'm talking
yeah,
about
I
the
know.
people that make the laws that you are governed under. I'm talking about the people that have the power here. They have no idea how this business operates. Everything that they know, they find out from other associations like the TIA, the ATA, OIDA. When we went down there and we were talking to them, these are the things that we said to them, and this is what they said back to us. Hold on, what was that? What's a factoring company? What's a rate con? What is that? Yeah, exactly. So when we call for things like nationwide shutdowns, we've got all these people. Oh, they're crazy. This guy, he's unhinged. But there's a reason why. There's a reason why. This whole business is built on a house of cards. This is just a whole bunch of lies. It's a whole bunch of jokery. Honestly, it really is. It really is. And it's amazing how many people are just so misinformed. Factoring companies not regulated by anybody. Brokers laugh in a regulator's face. And you're doing loads every day that, you basically rolling the dice at the craps table if you're going to get paid or not. And I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You could be super trucker, whoever the fuck you think you are. You rolling the dice at the craps table of whether you're going to get paid or not. That's just the facts. Okay? Those are the facts. You got so many people involved in these loads. You got so many variables. So much can go wrong. You are rolling the craps on whether or not you're going to get paid. So when Chris contacted me and he told me about this situation, that's what I was thinking about. There's so many things that could go wrong here, and this man is on the balls of his feet. He can't afford to not get paid on this load. What do I tell him? He thinks this is a double brokered load. What do I tell him? tread lightly, go easy. This is the business we're in. There's nothing I could tell him. I got a phone call the other day from James Anderson. I was coming from dropping. I was coming from dropping my son off to school, and I was on my way home. It was early in the morning, and I was gonna just come back home, get myself together, and go into the office and start working. And James Anderson called me when I hit the highway. I got a phone call. I answered the phone. James says, "Mike, I got a friend. He's got an issue." I said, "Okay, James, what's the issue?" He said, "You got a sec?" I said, "Okay." I said, "Yeah, I'm driving, but go ahead." He says, "I got this guy. He's a friend of mine. He's been driving for this. He leased onto this carrier in, I believe it was Chicago or something like that, or Michigan, about 3 weeks ago, and he hasn't been paid." And I said, "Okay." And he said he's got a load from these guys right now, and he's about 300 miles from the drop, and he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't think he's going to get paid, and he has no money for fuel, and he has their trailer, but he doesn't know what to do. And this was the last thing he said to me. He said, he's being followed. He's being tailed. He said that every time he stops, two Middle Eastern guys pull over next to him, and they walk around his truck, and then they get back in their car and go about their business. He says he sees this every time he stops.
That's creepy.
So I'm standing there and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, okay, well, this is way beyond our purview. I don't know what to do here. Do me a favor, let's get this guy on the phone and let's talk to him. So sure enough, we're on a conference call and we're talking to the guy, and he confirms everything that James says. And he says, I don't know what to do. And I said, look, when I get back to my office, I'm going to contact my people at the DOT, and I'm going to ask them if there is anything that you can do. And I said, look, I don't think there's anything that you can do. Oh, look at that.
Looks real.
It does look real.
It's a 2 train. The Polar Express. Nice. Have you gone on the little train ride?
I'm going to have so much fun with this. Thank you. My early Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have you gone on
Thank
the train ride where they do the reading and everything of that?
I have not, Jennifer, but I plan to soon.
All right, back to the business.
In any case,
He confirms.
I told I said to him, I said, listen, I'm going to be. I said, listen, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think that the DOT is going to be able to do anything. They're going to tell you exactly what I'm telling you, and that's call the police. This is a civil matter right now, but call the police. And I called the DOT. I called my friend at the DOT, and he picked up on the first ring, and he said exactly the same thing. He said, there's nothing we can do here. He needs to call the police. And my whole point to bringing this up is, by the way, I never heard from him again, by the way. If James, if you're watching this, please give me an update, or, and let me know how this all went down, because I never heard from him again after that phone call. So I don't know if he's alive or dead, or if he's, whatever.
It's crazy because I've been inviting him in, Mike, and he hasn't come into none of the spaces or groups or nothing. That's crazy, brother. Now you got me worried about him.
Oh, this wasn't James Anderson. This was his friend. Yeah, this was a friend of James Anderson. So, my whole point is this. We are operating in an industry where we have zero recourse. Our only recourse to protect us is the DOT. And they are doing, look, it's not their fault. They are doing what they can. They are doing what they can with what they have within the boundaries of the legal system, within the boundaries of their power. This industry must be looked at again, and must be the slate must be wiped clean, and it must be re-regulated all over. What we are operating under right now does not work for 2024. Look at the story I just told you. A carrier could be threatening your life, and you have no recourse. Call the cops. What are they going to do? Come out and give you a fucking ticket? So, I understood where Chris was coming from on this, and I hear it every day, believe it or not. I don't want to make light of it, Chris, but your story is not new. I hear it every day. People calling me,
I know that.
saying, I have this load and I don't think I'm going to get paid for it. What should I do? The DOT doesn't even have an answer for you.
So even if they do pay, it doesn't mean that they're still a good brokerage either. Exactly how they acted, they were acting like they were double brokering that load, and it's going to come out. I'm going to push this all the way. But even though that they pay, even if the brokerage does pay, it doesn't mean they're not actually being a scammer either.
Okay, so
don't get me wrong. There are good brokers out there. There are good ones out there. Totally legit, whatever. They could look legit. Yeah.
That's irrelevant. No, I hate to cut you off, Chris, but that's not the argument. The argument is not who's a good broker, who's a bad broker. It's irrelevant. It's not our job. The argument is, how did it become our job to figure out who's the good broker and who's the bad broker? How did it become our job? We didn't give them their, you know what? People have been asking me how to find, people have been asking me how to file a complaint at the FMCSA. I am going to show you right now. Bear with me. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show people how to file a complaint at the FMCSA. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. Okay, so this is my screen and I will show you. So you go to, give me 1 second. You go to www.protectyourmove.gov. Boom, right there. You see that right there? There's a couple of different websites you can go to, but this will get you where you need to be. You look for file a complaint. You click, you see that right there? I'm going to take no response as a yes. So you see that right there, right? So you click file a complaint.
Yes.
You scroll down to this, you see, you scroll down to this section here, and you might want to, I know you guys can't see my screen, so that's fine.
No, I can see it.
You might want to note this number down here, 1-888-368-7238. Now, you might be asking me, why is he on the section for moving?
there's
And
not
there's
one
a
on the
reason for that. I'm sorry, Jennifer?
because there's not one on the regular part of on the regular freight section. You've got to do it under the mover side.
And Jennifer answered that correctly. So that's
Ding
the
ding
reason why.
ding.
Yeah, there is no section at the FMCSA website, DOT, anywhere, where you can file a complaint against a property broker or freight broker. So you have to use the moving broker section to file a complaint against a property broker. And this is how you do it. So you note this number down when you get here, 1-888-368-7238, because you will need that number after you file your complaint, most likely. So you click this tab here, file a complaint, and it will take you to this site. This is the NCCDB website, the National Consumer Complaint Database, or you could save yourself a lot of time and just go to the National Consumer Complaint Database. This is just the easiest way to do it. Hold on. Sorry, I have to once again share my other screen because it took me to a new website. So let me get that there. There we go. Boom. So that is the site that link took me to, right? The National Consumer Complaint Database. This is what we were told when we had our meetings with the DOT. This is how they trained us to file a complaint against the property broker. This is the site that you have to go to file a complaint against the property broker. So you scroll down right here and you have your choices, right? You're not a consumer. Hopefully you're not a driver. You are an industry professional, right? So you click file a complaint and it will take you to this next screen. Truck company, who you want to file. Who is your complaint again? Moving company, truck company, bus company, medical review officer, electronic logging device. I'm sure by now you've noticed that there is no property broker choice or freight broker choice. So you pick this box here, moving company, and you file your complaint, right? You click next, and it takes you to your next site. This is where you're going to actually put your complaint here. You're going to put your complaint in. So I'm going to come to all the comments and questions in 1 second. I see everyone texting me and putting them in. I just got one for help with this, so let me do this really quickly. You put in your load number here, or your information from your rate con. All of that you should have right here from the broker that you want to file a complaint against. You put it all here: delivery dates, destination, who the receiver was, shipper was, whatever, where you picked it up. And this is where you put the description of the incident, right? Or what you are filing a complaint about. You can put in this section that you would like to get the documents for the load under 49 CFR 371.3. Very quickly, you put that in there because for whatever reason you want to see the documents. And let's move on down here. Moving broker, other commercial complaints. You can pick it pretty much any one of these tabs. I use other commercial complaints. Give me a second here. Oh, sorry, under this, right. Here you go. Pick this one. Deceptive business practice whistleblower complaint. Put other fraudulent activity. You can click that right there, and you can explain the situation. I contacted the broker requesting documents under 49 CFR 371.3. He told me to go fuck myself and twist in the wind before he will send me the documents. I would like the documents under 49 CFR 371.3, yada, yada, yada. Click next. And yeah. Oh, I didn't fill any of this shit out up here. So basically on the next screen, you need to put your contact information. You need to put your company information. You need to put all the documents, so you can put up, you can upload your rate cons, you can upload your bill of lading, you can upload all the documentation for the load that you are requesting transparency on. Put it in there, you upload it, and then you review and submit it. When you review and submit, you're going to be given a complaint number. This is very important. When you get that complaint number, write it down. Because if you remember back in the beginning, there was a phone number there. If the FMCSA does not respond to you within, I would say, a week, call that phone number. A human being is going to pick up the phone. When they pick up the phone, they're going to ask you for the complaint number. If you do not have the complaint number, they're not going to help you. So save the complaint number and call that phone number if you do not hear from them immediately. And they read every complaint. And based on the severity of the complaint, that's how fast they're going to get back to you. Chris filed a complaint a week ago, and they have not gotten back to him yet. But I helped the gentleman file a complaint, and the day after he filed it, they contacted him back. They are understaffed at this department, and they will get to you. Okay? If you have any issues with this, you can always reach out to us, and we will help you with it. But that is how you request the documents under 49 CFR 371.3. I hope that was helpful. Thank you. 1 second here. Let's go to some comments. There is no legal declaration. I think that was a response to something Jamie was asking. Feel better. Yeah, Bill, feel better, brother. I know you're all the way out there in West Bubble F. Feel better, brother. Interlining is not co-brokering. No, it is not co-brokering. Interlining is something totally different. And from my understanding, it has nothing to do with property. Interlining is a household goods situation. It has nothing to do with co-brokering. Co-brokering is a spin-off of the interlining that we feel was created by TIA and used. It's being used by brokers to justify co-brokering. That's what we feel. But interlining and co-brokering are two different things. Interlining is legal. Co-broker is, I don't know, it's a question mark. I don't know. I've never read anything.
Double brokering?
Yeah, I've never read anything about co-brokering in any regulations that says, I've never read anything about it in any regulations. Interlining is a totally different subject. That is something that is fiercely enforced by the Department of Transportation. I have been dealt with for failure to comply with that properly. The fines are very high. They can go anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 for an incorrect agreement or no agreement at all. So those fines are strongly enforced. So interlining and co-brokering are two separate things, because co-brokering is not regulated by the law. It comes to liability on the load. The next carrier who repowers needs to be insured to the load. Congress does know about double brokering and the interline incident. I don't know.
Oh, we know that, but
Oh, well, they do know about it. It's just,
what about the co-brokering though?
look, I can't speak for what everyone doesn't know. I can only speak for the people that I talk to. If they know about it, great. The ones that I speak to, clueless. So, you know, if they know about it, hey, if they know about it, they're putting on a good show. That's all I can say. And there were other people there in the room with me who witnessed it as well. So if they know about it, great. Doesn't seem like it to me, or a lot of other people. Volume on the brokerage part. If BM2 is making $300K a month on 10 loads a week, that's keeping $750 each load. Great math. I don't think they know factoring companies are operating like a loan company or cash advance company. Well, I can tell you, like I said before, they don't even know what factoring companies are. I have had congressmen and senators ask me how the supply chain works. People on the transportation committees ask me what some of these things are. It's phenomenal. So no, they don't know what factoring companies are. Most the ones that I speak to, and I have a very long list. So, you know, moving on. Brokers think it's okay.
So
for
that
brokers.
300,
Go ahead,
go
Chris.
for it.
No, go ahead.
That $300,000. The question is that what's going to the broker or the brokerage company?
I mean, come on, man. That's between the broker. And that's between the broker
Yeah, I
and
know.
his employer. I mean, we don't get into that. But
Yeah, I know.
yeah. But brokers think it's okay for brokers to require brokers think it's okay for brokers to require everything: pictures, inspections, tracking, etc. But it's not okay for a carrier to ask a broker for information on a load they're responsible for transporting. Like, heaven forbid. Listen, you know, I agree with that 150%. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and that's the reason why 371.3 is there, and it hasn't gone anywhere in 43 years, because that's the way fair business is done. And the only problem is, you know, they're very slick. You know, yeah, keep the rule there, we'll get rid of the regulator. So, you know, that's what they did. Yeah, you know, we'll keep the rule there. We can't get rid of it, but we can get rid of the regulator. And that's exactly what they did. So I was talking with someone on WhatsApp in our WhatsApp group, because, you know, we should let people know that we have a WhatsApp group as well. And I was talking to an individual in our WhatsApp group, and we were having a conversation about that just yesterday, I believe. And you know, if you just do a little research, you know, your eyes will pop out of your head. You know what I mean? I mean, they were able to accomplish all this. Special interest was able to accomplish all of this. They were able to create this whole garbage supply chain simply by just getting rid of the regulator. That's exactly how we got to this point. Getting rid of the ICC open the door for all of this to be made possible. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's basically how this happened. You know, getting rid of the ICC made all of this possible. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you know, the ICC was around until 1996, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, they weren't. The ICC was dealt with back in 1977, 1978, when Jimmy Carter changed the administrator of the ICC and got a guy that he had in his back pocket to go in there and start brainwashing all the different department heads and forcing them to see things Jimmy Carter's way. Deregulation it needs to be done. Up until that point, the ICC was totally against deregulation, and they knew it was a bad idea and it shouldn't have been. But Jimmy Carter got a handpicked guy that he had in his back pocket to go in there and start planting the seeds in every division of the ICC. And the guy was successful. I don't remember his name, but he was successful. He was so successful, he even convinced the ATA he was against deregulation. When in all reality, he was not. And the ATA approved him being the administrator of the ICC. They didn't even fight it. So when the guy was able to convince everyone at the ICC that deregulation was a good thing, the ATA knew they effed up, and they went ahead and said, yeah, okay, we agree with deregulation. And they left the Teamsters swinging, the only organization that was against deregulation. And that's how we got to where we are today. All they did was get rid of the regulator. And if you think the FMCSA is a regulator, you have worse issues than transparency. The FMCSA makes it very clear. Their mandate is safety. They have no clue about regulating unless it has something to do with safety. So, that's the situation with that. This industry needs to be revamped, and we are going to be advocating for that next year. We would like the Motor Carrier Act of 1980 repealed or replaced, and we would like a new act for 2024 that protects owner-operators and carriers and independent truckers and brokers and the supply chain. A smart act. Not an act that's 44, going to be 44 years old. Written for 1980, not 2024. That's what we need to be working on, and that's what the National Owner Operators Association will be working on moving forward. Jennifer, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You have the floor, Jen.
I'm good. I just, we're boycotting the Hampton and Hilton. Just a reminder.
I did not catch that, Jennifer.
We are boycotting the Hampton and Hilton Inns, just as a reminder.
Oh, boy. Now, okay, so I guess you're going to give us an update. Now, is your daughter safe? Did she get? Is she in the room? Did she get checked in? Is she safe?
She's safe.
So she is safe now. The Hampton Inn did put up a little fight.
No,
but
they didn't put up a little fight. They kicked her out in the street, and I had to find another place for her.
Oh, so they did not check her.
Correct.
Well, that's messed up. I thought they did check her.
No, they did not check her in.
Okay.
She called around and checked with the Marriott. They said their policy was 21. She asked if they could refer her to another hotel. Put that up for me. With the window up. And they told her a loft, A-L-O-F-T, a loft. So that's where we said is a good hotel. Props to a loft for putting them up and taking good care of them.
Got it. So the Hampton Inn sucks.
They're mean. Mean people suck.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you saying we're boycotting the Hampton Inn?
Yes, and Hilton, their parent company. Because I feel like Hilton is a big enough name that they should have gone ahead and honored the reservation, and they should have taken it up with Booking.com, not with my daughter.
Got you. Yes, we are boycotting the Hampton Inn and Hilton. Jamie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I hear you, sir. Comments,
I'm hanging out over on LinkedIn with Matt Dahl and this other gentleman. What are y'all doing?
Who's the other gentleman?
I'm trying to get back to it. He was asking if anybody was in there besides him and Matt, and I told him, yeah, I was.
I'm reading something here on LinkedIn. Chris, did you want to add anything on your situation with this broker?
No. I think, yeah, I mean, they acted unprofessional. They knew exactly what I was doing. And with that low tender, that was a joke. I even told them that in the email.
Yeah.
Like I did have one other thing when you're done, Mike.
I'm sorry, say that again, Jennifer.
I did have one other thing. So you know the Amazon loads that are double brokered that you get off a relay, whatever. We can get those paid usually at 50%. Well, we had a load that was actually in transit. We reached out to our contacts there to let them know this load is in transit. Do not pay the wrong carrier. We sent them the finalized paperwork today and said, here's the paperwork on this. I hope you didn't pay the wrong carrier. And they said, we'll offer settlement of 50%. We're like, whoa. Time out. Like, we talked about this. We can get you in ahead of time. Like, we wanted you to go ahead and facilitate the payment to the correct carrier. They're not interested in doing that, period. They don't care. They are going to pay the scam broker 100%, and they are going to pay the final mile carrier 50%. End of list.
And we're talking about Amazon?
Yeah, even if you can catch it while it's in transit and let them know ahead of time that this is double brokered and that it's a fraudulent paperwork, they don't care.
Okay. Jennifer, you do know the two individuals that we were talking about yesterday are deceased, right?
Yeah, I know. This was a sidebar.
They will not be looking for payment.
No, I wasn't referring. I wasn't talking directly to the attorney situation of the people that are deceased. I was talking directly to just Amazon loads in general. We said we could get them paid if they were found not to be double brokered 50%, but if they were in transit, we were telling them we wanted them to come to the table for 100%. And I thought they had kind of agreed to that, but now they're backpedaling.
Right. We'll talk. I meant to call you yesterday. But I was very tired. It was a 3-hour meeting, and I was very tired. And I had another meeting after that meeting with our insurance division, and I was I was out of it. So I meant to contact you today, but I forgot. I had other stuff going on, meetings, and we're going to talk about that. You, me, and John.
I just wanted to put that out for everybody out there that, if they get a load, they don't get it directly from Amazon or the Relay app. It is double brokered, and it doesn't matter if it's in transit or not. We can only get it paid at 50%.
Jessica Dotson is out there. Jessica Dotson is the representative for our NOAA fuel card, NOAA branded fuel card.
Oh, damn, I'm going to get cussed out because I didn't send her the link. Oh, damn, I'm sorry, Jessica. I'll send it to you now.
Yeah, I don't have the link for the fuel card here either. I'll just put this up there. So if you're interested in the NOAA fuel card, join NOAA. What else here? Then Amazon should only get half their load. Fire sale out the back of the trailer. Oh boy, whoever said that, I love you. Thanks for breaking the monotony here. Let me say something about that. I've got some pictures I'm going to post in the group when I get a chance. Over the summer, over here by my house, there's like an empty lot. It was like an old Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's been boarded up for like 30 years. And these guys popped the lock, and they basically drove some trucks into the yard there. They had some 26-foot box trucks, and they had all this Amazon stuff, all these Amazon boxes in the truck and in these trucks. And the first time it was one truck, then, you know, after a few times, there started to be multiple trucks there. And we were driving by, me and my wife, one time, and she said, "Oh, wow, look at those guys. They have those Amazon mystery pallets that they're selling." And they had a sign outside, you know, buy 3 boxes, get 3 free, or get 2 free, or something like that. And it was all Amazon boxes in these trucks. So everybody, there was a bunch of people there buying these things. Like, they would just sell them by the box. They wouldn't let you open them. They just, you know. And so my wife says, "Look, it's those Amazon mystery sales, you know, box." And I was like, "No, it's not. That's stolen. That's stolen stuff. That's stuff. Someone stole all of that stuff from Amazon." So, yeah, I think Tim Wilkinson. Yeah, Tim, you're exactly right. Amazon will burn someone, and they will go and make an Amazon account and just grab a load, and it's bye-bye, it appears. I don't see those guys anymore. I assume they probably got arrested or caught or whatever, or maybe got what they needed to get out of those loads. But yes, you are correct. And Jennifer, you're correct too. Amazon does not care. I don't understand, why does this keep snapping back like that? I don't know. Is this the who put this in here? I don't know what this is, but maybe this is the link to sign up for the fuel card. I assume it is, but no, wait a minute. That is the link to sign up for the fuel card. So if you want to sign up for the NOAA fuel card, that is the link. So from what I'm hearing from people that have signed up for the NOAA fuel card is that it is very compatible with the popular fuel cards that all the experts are using, Mudflap and all of these other fuel cards. The only difference is that our fuel card has other caveats to it, like a tire program, PM program, and other perks that you get with it. So from my understanding, from all the feedback I'm getting, is that's the case. It is on par with all of those major fuel cards out there. Discounts are similar. What I've noticed is it's based on the area where you travel. Where I am, I've seen very deep discounts. Where some people are, the discounts are not as deep, so they're on par with other cards. But when you factor in, you know, if you blow a tire on the road, you can get another one for 50, 52, 53% discount. I think that gives our card an edge. So if you're interested in the card, there's the link. If you're not, good for you. There's the link. Jamie, unfortunately, happens rarely. I am not a fan of co-brokering in general for a lot of reasons. Well, Matt, why don't you list a few? Yeah. So, Jessica, very nice to see you. Thank you for being here in spirit. Jessica and I will both be at Matt's this year, Mid-America Trucking Show. First time for us. Has been there a few times. So we will be in Kentucky at Matt's, March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So if you're in the area, please stop by and see us. We'll also be at the Florida Trucking Show, February 24th and 25th, I believe. So check us out. That is Jessica's contact information. jdotson at msfuelcard.com. Email if you have any additional questions about the fuel card. I guess it's been a long day for Jessica because she misspelled questions, which I think is funny. Questions. But we all know what you meant. Who's next here? Chris.
What's up?
Any more issues with any more brokers?
No.
So it's all love.
That's just because he hasn't hauled any more loads.
Did not hear you, Jen.
I'm
I
on my
said that's
second
just
load
because
after
he
that Phoenix.
I said that's just because he hasn't hauled any more loads, Mike.
I'm on my second load after that Phoenix load. I
No
haven't
problem.
stopped.
No problem.
No?
Okay, then. Sounds good, brother. I'm happy to hear that. Mr. Anderson. Jamie's busy, so I'll put this question.
I was strolling over on Twitmo X.
Got it. Shipper doesn't know about it most of the time, dishonest. 2, causes confusion like with Chris load. 3, if you're a good broker, other than a few exceptions. Well, I guess me and Matt, that's something we disagree on. I don't feel it's a few exceptions. I think it's systemic and it's insane. I think it's the other way around.
I agree with him 100%.
You agree with Matt?
Yeah, I'm a strong proponent that if a broker cannot cover the loads and don't have the capacity or meet the capacity of the loads, they should not be able to pass it to another broker. They should give it back to the shipper. It would stop the bullshit.
If you are a good broker, other than a few exceptions, why are you taking loads you can't handle yourself? That is what Matt says.
Yep.
I think those are very good points.
But the reason
Very
for that
long.
is the
Go ahead,
reason for
Jen.
that. The reason for that is it's like, what if you're an East Coast broker and all of your lanes are on the East Coast, and then all of a sudden they have a lane that opens up on the West Coast, but you don't know carriers out there. That's why they talk about co-brokering, because that way you can keep your customer, but you use the carriers of another broker of that area to carry that weight.
Well, that contract should go to that brokerage then.
Good points. Good points. So,
Yes, you can use more than one broker.
I've been hesitant to bring up this issue with this guy. I forget his name. I know, weird guy. I forget his name, John or Joseph something. I don't know his name. The one that was on Matt's show, who said that he takes 40% out of the load. He averages 40% out of the load. They had him on the show again. He must bring in views because they seem to like having him on his show. He actually kind of doubled down on that. He crunched his numbers and he revised his number. He takes about 35% out of the load, not 40%. He was, I guess, yeah, he was speaking off the cuff when he said 40. His real actual number is 35% out of the load. And yeah, they had like a 5-hour show with him talking about, I don't know, whatever goes on in his fucking pea brain.
Next week it'll be 32%.
Yeah, but you know, I'll tell you, my time in this business is coming to an end. I refuse to operate in a business where a nothing will be able to take 35% of my money, or 30 or 25 or 20 or 15 of my money, 15% of my money, without getting his head split open. So I am coming to an end with property. I refuse to operate in this business if that is going to continue to be the case. If I am about to reactivate my authority. Actually, I was about to do it today. I already signed the policy and I will be reactivating it. But I don't know how long it's going to stay active because I refuse to participate in this kind of business. I will not sit here for days and weeks fighting for loads and, you know, keeping my fingers crossed, hoping I'll get something. This is not what I signed up for. You know, I just can't see myself doing this for much longer. So, especially with people that, honestly, I don't need brokers. I don't. Maybe I'm different, but I don't think anyone does unless you don't speak English or you don't know how to do simple math. I don't think anyone really needs a broker, but if you do, you should be treated fairly. And if that doesn't happen soon with Congress and with the FMCSA, I'm probably going to be taking the same route as many other people have in this business and just bow out. It's just not worth it to me. So, that's pretty much my situation on that. A lot of 100, $500 million brokerages that do zero co-brokering. They have big carrier networks, both coasts. He did have an interesting argument, say a broker is charging customer $3,500, paying carrier $32, and he is charging customer $6K and paying carrier $4. His theory is he's paying carrier's debt. So he's keeping two grand, and you think that he's justified. Well, sir.
That depends on how many miles. For one. For another, even at $2 grand, it wouldn't even matter.
Listen,
you take that $4 grand that the carrier got and do the miles on it. How much did he actually make after all the expenses that he has to put into that load?
Chris, let me ask you something.
What?
I know Jamie's busy, so I'll ask you.
What's up?
When you left your home to go on the road, was it easy? Did your wife? Did your wife want you to leave?
No.
How many kids you leave it behind?
I've got 2 kids, but they're both adults.
Okay. Is driving a truck easy?
No, it's not.
Do you consider it to be like fun, like similar to a day at the amusement park, or going to the mall with your wife shopping, or going to the movies? Is it fun? Is driving a truck fucking fun? Is it
Yes.
fun?
It's no more fun than spending time with my family. Do I love trucking? Yes. Do I love my family more? Yes. Do I love spending time with my family more? Yes. But this is what pays my bills. This is what pays us to do those trips. It feeds us.
Do you love it enough to give someone $2,000 out of a $6,000 loan?
No,
Fuck no.
Let me ask you something. The time that you're going to spend on the road, that precious time out of your life that you will never get back.
yep.
Does that matter? I mean, do we factor that in when we calculate our cost per mile? When you're calculating your fuel and your
There
toll,
is no way to calculate
are
that
you
out.
quantifying the hours and days and physical abuse, mental abuse, the time away from your family? I heard a truck driver on this show a couple of weeks ago say one of his eldest children said they hate him because he was never there when they were young. Are you quantifying that? Are you calculating that in your cost per mile when you call that broker up? Is it worth so the $2,000 that this pencil neck is taking out of your load? I mean, are you looking at it like that? Are we? I'm not even going to say you. Are we looking at it like that?
No, because there's no way to actually calculate that in because time is precious. There's no amount of money that can compensate your time to
Well,
get
I can
back.
tell you. Well, I can tell you this. It ain't $2,000, bro.
No,
Maybe more like 500, 400, 300, but it ain't $2,000 of my money because it's my
right.
life. It's my life, my time. And if you've seen some of the
Exactly.
pictures I saw of people that are dead now, because something happened to walk out into the road in the middle of the night and they swerved and now they're dead. No, you're not getting $2,000 out of the $6,000 loan. That's my money. I put my life on the line for it. I've given up a piece of my life for that money. And for you to stand there and say you deserve $2,000 out of the $6,000, you know what? Say it to my face, bro.
And you know
Say it to
what?
my
If that broker moves 10 loads a week at $2,000 a load, that's $20,000 for how many hours of work? 10 hours of work? Man, I wish I was making that an hour.
whatever,
Right.
man. Not. I'm not talking to you, Jennifer. I was responding to Matt's comment he just made. Honestly, I don't want to hear the excuses. I am dealing right now with a wrongful death case. Two individuals driving a truck perished in that truck, and they're gone, they're dead. And I have seen many of these pictures and many of these cases. And quite frankly, if you're sitting in your office safe and secure and enjoying life, and your biggest concern is whether you should take 40% or 35% of that person's load that can probably be a victim of one of those incidents, quite frankly, I'm not interested in what you have to say. And I'm not directing that towards you, Matt. I'm saying that in joke. You're my brother and I love you. I'm just saying I want to drop the subject. In any case, Jamie, are you free? I guess Jamie's not free. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm here. I was backing in the door. What's up?
Floor is yours,
Go ahead,
sir.
Jimmy.
We in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't got.
Chris,
I
I'll
ain't
be
got,
right back.
I ain't got much going, brother. I'm I got one of my sons out here with me, gonna take a ride with me
So
until 23rd when I go in.
I don't. I mean, if we're talking about how many loads a week that you move, Matt, can you tell me, or can you define when you're working on a load with the carrier? I mean, once you book that load, how much time is really involved with you, seeing to that load and getting that load to delivery a week? I mean, would you say you spend an hour a week per load? Would you say it's more than that? Because I really kind of have an issue if you're taking $2,000 out of 6,000 and you're doing an hour's worth of work a week on a load. I mean, let's put that in a per hour perspective, and you put a truck driver's rate up there and put it per hour. I mean, he's making chump change, and you're living like. And I'm not saying you, Matt, personally. I'm talking as just the broker. You're living high on the hog, quite a bit for compared to what this driver's making. And mind you, the driver doesn't just have to make enough to make to pay their bills while they're on the road. This is a living like you're making in an office and you pay your bills at home. They have to pay for all of this stuff for the truck and be able to pay their bills at home. Like they have like two full like lines of bills that they have to pay for. It's not just the household bills that they have to pay for, but they have to pay for the equipment, the tags and the insurance and the what have you to make this job happen so that they can send the money home. So I mean you got two totally complete full lines of bills that have to be paid out of this trucker salary.
I show I showed this picture the other day. You see that?
Yep.
That's me over, I think that's probably 12 years ago, 13 years ago. That red truck and trailer right there. That was the first tractor and trailer I ever purchased. The two guys that I had in this truck almost died. They jackknifed on the highway in bad weather in Indiana, and this truck rolled over at full speed and went down an 80-foot ravine. This tractor. The passenger was thrown from the truck while it was going down the ravine, and the driver stayed in the truck while it was going down. When I saw the pictures of this truck from the insurance company, I couldn't even recognize it. And the trailer. This truck was fully loaded. It had about 6 or 7 families' personal belongings on it. I was in household goods at the time. When the two guys, when the driver and the other passenger, the helper, came to the office when they got back after the accident, they had a look on their face that they didn't have when they left. I never seen anything like it. They looked like different people. You see, because when these things crash, it's not funny no more. So every day, every minute, let me stop. Let me backtrack. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month that you are driving one of these, you should be getting the maximum amount of money you can get because your life is in danger. That is not a joke. I learned that over a decade ago. When you see one of these things in an accident, a real accident, it's like looking at a plane crash. It's like looking at a plane crash when a plane crashes into land and not water. And the devastation, that is what it looks like. These people have PTSD after these things crash. If a glass drops on the ground, they run for their lives. So I don't want to hear a broker tell me he deserves to take 35 or 40 or 50 or 70% out of the road. It's a joke. It's an
Oh, even
absolute-
20%, but yeah.
And if you're out here justifying that, I don't even know what to say to you. Seriously, I really don't. It's very difficult for me not to lose my temper. So, that's my point. And that's where it comes from. A lot of people don't know. I've been doing this longer than COVID. Okay? You see that? That's me. See this guy right here? See this handsome guy right here? 100 pounds lighter, young? That's me.
Woo!
Okay? I didn't start doing this a week ago, despite what some of you may have heard on Twitter. I'm not a rookie. I've been doing this a minute. It is what it is, man. Jamie fell out, huh? At Chris, on another note, send me the lane to run and mode of transportation. I sent you a message. So that is from Matt Dahl. And Chris, Matt sent you a message. Jennifer.
Okay.
Hey.
I tell you right now, I run all lanes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jennifer.
I'm here.
7th on the list of top 25 most dangerous occupations in the U.S. with a fatality rate of 28.8 deaths per 100,000 drivers in 2021. I know that is from my favorite analyst, Blake Alvarez.
Blake?
And, I know I'm unhinged. I'm the town crier. I'm, who is that guy from Waco, Texas? What was his name, Jennifer? The cult leader guy.
Yeah, David Koresh.
Yeah, I'm David Koresh. Hey, let me put my glasses on. I'm David Koresh. Yeah. That's me. I'm wrong. I should shut up. I'm a scammer. Blah, 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 blah. Yada, 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 yada. Tell that to these guys with these, that are able to walk away from
driving is not for the faint of heart.
That are able to walk away from some of these accidents. Tell that to them. If they don't care what a broker's taking out of the load. Yeah.
Driving is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, I agree. If you don't, you should probably think about another profession, those guys that weld steel on top of skyscrapers and shit like that, window washer of the, Empire State Building, you should think about doing something like that for a living if you don't care. I don't know. I have children and they want to see me come home, and they would care if I didn't. My mom is wanting to be a truck driver. She is retiring. She is 65. I recommended she not do that.
Why not?
Matt, Matt, you are a broker, so she should probably take your advice. You would know. I'm glad to see that you have more feeling. You have those feelings for your mother to feel you. Let me rephrase. I heard the grumblings. I'm glad to see that you care about your mother's uh, uh, career choices, and you are giving her sound advice, not to become a truck driver. I'm proud of you for that. And coming from a freight broker, I hope she takes your advice seriously and strong consideration.
But considering how much money they make, she could be a freight broker.
Now you see, Matt, that may be a better suggestion for coming to join you and become a freight broker. It's a tough job you guys have. I couldn't do it. Yes, you could. I think you should rephrase. It's a tough job you guys have. I don't want to do it.
I would want to do it.
Oh, you could drive a truck. You can drive a truck. It's not hard. You can do it. It's easy. You can be able to drive a truck. You can go to school, learn how to do it. You don't want to do it, bro.
The mechanics of driving a truck are not that difficult, really. But I used to tell my husband, all you do is ride around in climate control. You don't really work anyway. Until I became a truck driver. I said, damn, this is like real work and shit.
Well, let's see. That is a misconception, though. The top 20% of freight brokers make a killing. The other 80% make 40K to 50K-ish. Yeah. The 2022 data will come out until 2024 sometime. Accidents, fatigue, adverse weather, equipment failure, other drivers loading and unloading, falls, exposure, stress. I agree, Blake. You are totally right. I've been a victim of some of that stuff, especially falls, fatigue, adverse weather. Here in the Northeast, it's pretty brutal. Equipment failure, please. Mostly falls for me. It's pretty bad. But it is what it is. I am becoming a victim of fatigue right now. So why don't we go around the room for final thoughts? Chris, I will give the floor to you since this was your special show and your first show as official co-host. I will give the floor to you for final thoughts, and then we'll kick it over to Jennifer, and then we'll shut her down. We did 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I am done. Go ahead, Chris.
So this is something we can talk about next time we do live. Why is it that freight brokers think that they are buying these loads and selling the loads to us? They're acting like they're actually paying these shippers, their customers, for these loads to get the loads moved. That is what this broker actually told me. That's how he explained it.
Well, Chris, Chris, that's exactly what we've been arguing. They're not really brokers; they're freight traders. They're actually
even the trader is actually putting money up to buy the product.
Continue on exit 257B.
They actually pay the customer money to take said product. These brokers aren't doing that.
In some cases, traders do. In some cases, they don't. The financial industry works with a lot of leverage. Most of the time, they are trading on something called margin. And in margin accounts, they're actually putting up very little of their own money to be able to control a very large blocks of stock and trade them for small profits. In some cases, they are putting up their own money, and in some cases, they're not. But they're still gaining control over a lot of equity to make a profit. We've made the same argument, and what he did was prove our point when he said that. We've said it. They are not acting as intermediaries. They're not acting as brokers. They are acting as traders. They are acting for their own benefit. They could care less about you. They could care less about their customer, really. They only care about what they're getting out of the loan. That is not an intermediary. That is not a broker. That is a trader. He's exactly right. And we've been saying that for almost a year now. And,
Okay. And here's the other side of that is, so basically we're buying the loads from them. How are we buying the loads?
Look, we can have that conversation on another show.
That's what I was saying. We do it on the next show, whatever.
But the fact of the matter is that these guys know exactly what they're doing. They do not understand their job description or their job title, and quite frankly, they don't have to. The TIA has done an amazing job creating this idea of what a freight broker is, and they've been in Congress for a few decades now, shoveling this shit to anyone that'll listen to them, that this is what freight brokers are supposed to be. So, it is what it is. Whether you want to believe it or accept it or not, it is what it is. There are very few brokers out there that actually act as true intermediaries. These guys wake up in the morning, go into their office, and the only thing on their mind is how much are they going to get out of every load that they move today. That is it. That is it. So they could say whatever they want to say. They can call me whatever they want to call me. That's fine. Fact of the matter is that's the case. They're not intermediaries. They're acting. They're not acting in the
two doubles for $7 with no cheese, only mustard and onion.
They're not acting for the benefit of all
yes,
parties.
I need to get a 3-piece chicken strip meal, $7 meal. With hot.
They're acting for the benefit of all parties involved in the transaction. They're acting for the benefit of themselves.
Oh, I know that.
That is a trader, not a broker. Go ahead, Jennifer.
I'm good, Mike. Let's wrap it.
Why do you guys think owner-op don't go try to sell shippers themselves more often? Well, Matt, because I don't know if you noticed what Chris is doing right now. He's driving a truck. You are driving a truck, right, Chris?
Yeah.
It would be very difficult to go to shippers and try to get your own freight while you're driving a truck, wouldn't it?
Yes, and to that point, I have gone to shippers to get direct freight. They don't want to use me because I'm a one-truck carrier.
No, here's the thing, Chris. They don't want to use you because there's a guy sitting in an office that calls, emails, texts, and bombards them with communications on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Which you can't do because you're running your own business. You're driving a truck. You have bills to pay. But they can sit in an office all day and bombard these shippers with communication. Oh, I just wanted to follow up with you. Even though I spoke to you yesterday, I just want to follow up with you and see if there's anything else we can do for you to get your business. And I'll call you in an hour. Hey, yeah, it's me. Just wanted to follow up with you again. I don't know if you got my 17 emails I sent you, but I just wanted to follow up with you to see if we can do business together. I know you're not in right now, but when you get this message, give me a call back. Hour goes by. Yeah, I don't know if you got my last message, but yeah, what's for lunch? What are we gonna do today? Oh, okay. Yeah, let me make 80 more phone calls to shippers because this is the reason why you can't get your own freight. Because there's thousands of them bombarding shippers all day long, 7 days a week even. They're sending them, they're filling up their inboxes with emails. They're calling them on the phone. They're texting them. They're bombarding them all day long with communication. And you don't have the ability to do that because you're driving a fucking truck. And I can tell you, even the shippers don't like it.
Yeah. I've had shippers tell me that, but they only use them because they have the capacity. They could get the loads moved, multiple loads.
Right. I'm thinking about forming a group of a lot of the best sales guys and gals I know and doing a free group for owner operators on selling shippers. Oh, Jesus.
Isn't that what we're doing? What with Raphael?
Yeah, that's a good idea, Matt. I think that'll work. Love to see owner operators get more direct freight. Yeah, me too. Jennifer, did you want to add anything before we close it out?
No, I know what else to know when I've heard too much. I'm good.
I am done. I think we had a good show. Chris, I hope you got your, you feel like you got your information out about that broker. What is it called? BMS or BLS?
BM2 Logistics.
BM2.
Like that, like I got to do a number 2, BM2.
Jennifer's got the one-liners, bro. I tell you. She's like Henny Youngman.
That is a good one.
I take my wife everywhere, but she finds her way back home. But anyway, what is today? Today is Tuesday. We missed the show Monday, so I guess we're going to be back here tomorrow night, right, Chris?
Yeah.
All right. Chris, my brother, you drive safe. Be careful and, pull over if you get tired and get some rest. Keep your eyes on the road and
yeah, I'm only driving a couple more hours.
Gotcha.
I'm not even doing my full clock.
Got you. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Bill McKelvey. Bill, feel better, brother. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jessica Dahl from the MS Fuel Card, NOAA program, Fuel Card. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry?
Jessica Dotson.
Yes, Jessica. That's what I said.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Jessica. Jennifer, are you joking? Sometimes I don't know. You joking? Are you serious?
No, I was driving and I didn't hear you well, so I'm sorry. I was just making sure that you didn't misspeak. I apologize. I'm staying in my lane.
I hear my dogs barking and growling, and I hear a little dog screaming. So I hope I'm not about to get sued. But
Better go check on it. I'm about ready to lose service anyways.
Yeah. So Thank you, Jennifer, for being here. And we will see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. You guys have a happy and safe evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.